Hi everybody. Today I'm doing a prayercast about this little book. This is a collection of writings that I have been reading from Thich Nhat Hanh. He is a Vietnamese Buddhist monk who has written prolifically. If you ever take a look of his bibliography, it is immense and intimidating. And I'd read a few quotes by him. I was interested in learning more, so I went for the pocket edition that has a bunch of different things from different works, so I felt like it was an easier introduction. Thich Nhat Hanh was born in Vietnam, and he was a young man at the time of the Vietnam War. He joined a monastery when he was 16, and then shortly thereafter the war broke out. He came to the U.S. in the 60s to advocate for peace between his home country and ours. As a result, he was banished. He was exiled from Vietnam, so he was not allowed to go home. While he was in the U.S., he met Martin Luther King Jr., and the two spoke a lot on Vietnam, on nonviolence as a movement and as an organizing tool. Martin Luther King Jr. nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize, which I think is incredible considering the character of both of these men. It is kind of surprising to me that I hadn't already heard of him. Towards the end of his life, now he's still living, he's in his upper 90s. He had a stroke in 2014, I think, but he is still living. Vietnam actually allowed him to return home in these last couple of years. So he's been convalescing at his home monastery that he joined when he was 16. So he is currently in Vietnam, living out the remainder of his days in his home, which I think is so nice and so cool that he was eventually able to go home. In between being exiled in the 60s and going home now, he's done a lot of work. His big thing is he has founded a monastery in France, the Plum Village monastery. It is pretty big, and it's part of an international Buddhist order called the Order of Interbeing. So Han is a part of the Zen Buddhism tradition. So there are lots of different branches of Buddhism. Zen Buddhism is more popular in the West because it teaches that enlightenment is something that can be achieved within a single lifetime, instead of something that you have to live through multiple lifetimes to have hope of ever seeing, which, obviously is one of the reasons why people are more inclined to go that route. But he is a real proponent of mindfulness because of that Zen tradition. And early on in this selection of writings, he talks about your true home, and your true home being this present moment. And if your true home is your body at this present moment, it is something that can never be taken away from you. He writes, "Your true home is not an abstract idea. You can find your true home in the full relaxation of your mind and body in the present moment. No one can take it away from you. Other people can occupy your country. They can put you in prison, but they cannot take away your true home and your freedom." And I think that's so powerful considering his history, his personal lived experience of having that exact thing happen, of having American troops invade and occupy his home country, of being banished from his home country, of being imprisoned multiple times through his life, all for advocating for peace. So the fact that he, of all people, is able to say, your true home is with you right now in this moment and no one can take it away, I think is really very powerful. And it's been something I've been trying to think of throughout my day with the upheaval that is 2020. It is nice to think of, even if everything around me is not normal, I am home, I am here, I am safe, I am in this moment. I'm not the best at mindfulness yet, not yet. It's something that I've again been recently interested in. But he's a very good teacher. There is a separate passage from this that I wanted to read, that I think really applies to me and probably to a lot of people, especially in America and in our kind of like go, go, go kind of world. So this is from a section in this pocket guide called Habit Energy. There is a story in Zen circles about a man and a horse. The horse is galloping quickly, and it appears that the man on the horse is going somewhere important. Another man standing alongside the road shouts, "Where are you going?" And the first man replies, "I don't know. Ask the horse." This is our story. We are riding a horse, and we don't know where we are going, and we can't stop. The horse is our habit energy, pulling us along, and we are powerless. We are always running, and it has become a habit. We struggle all the time, and we are at war within ourselves. And that way, we can easily start a war with others. We have to learn the art of stopping. Our habit energies are often stronger than our volition. We say and do things we don't want to, and afterward, we regret it. With mindfulness, we have the capacity to recognize the habit energy every time it manifests. Hello, my habit energy. I know you are there. If we just smile to it, it will lose much of its strength. Don't judge it or try to destroy it, because this restlessness is you yourself. It is born, has a period of existence, and fades away quite naturally. And like I said at the beginning, I really like that. First of all, that story of the horse gets me every time. But yeah, that seems like so much of us, especially up until this pandemic period. We're just always going, always moving. This idea that our worth is tied to our productivity really impedes our ability to just rest. I know there are times where I would be sitting at home thinking, I know there's something I'm supposed to be doing. What is it? Why, I can't possibly have a moment to just chill. So I think that is something that the pandemic has brought more to my attention, and probably for a lot of people whose lives just suddenly came to a halt and we all had to stay home. Our worth is not tied to our productivity, and it is important not to just let our habit of running, our habit energy pull us along when we could rest and reside in that true home and the present moment and just enjoy so much more fully life as it is happening. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking him out. You don't have to buy the book. There's lots of resources that Plum Village puts out for free. They actually have an app. It's called the Plum Village app. I'd have it. It's really neat because they include a lot of the songs and chants that they use each day at the monastery, guided meditations, and also Dharma talks. Dharma just meaning teaching. Dharma talks by Thich Nhat Hanh and other members of their community. So I would highly recommend that as well, and it's free too. But yeah, just to remember to, slow down. And I think the part at the end about not judging yourself is important too, instead of saying, I should just be able to relax, or I should be doing this. Get rid of that thought pattern, the shoulds, musts, and oughts that we put on ourselves, and just be, if you do find yourself getting caught up in that habit energy, like he says, just smile at it and say, oh, hey, there you are again. But don't make a judgment on yourself, like, oh, dadgummit, I was this close, I did it again. Don't beat yourself up, because then that, ruins the point of it. Just say, oh, hey, there you are again. And then settle back in to that present moment and to mindfulness of yourself and your surroundings. But yeah, thanks for listening.